Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this beautiful 2022 Tesla Model Y Performance that we have for sale. The Performance version of the Y is obviously the range topping trim level, so it comes with the premium interior, and then you get the Performance. So Tesla does not put out official horsepower ratings on their Model 3 or Model Y products. You can probably guess the output is somewhere around 450 horsepower, but regardless of the horsepower, what the important thing is how does it feel when you drive it? How fast is it? And it's pretty darn fast. 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds. Top speed 155 miles per hour. It's faster than a lot of vehicles on the road. The Model Y is a crossover SUV, but this thing can offer performance that would probably rival some sports cars. Especially acceleration wise, this will leave a lot of cars in the dust. And this has dual motors, so it has a motor in the front and the motor in the back, giving it all-wheel drive, but it's also like having two engines. So this thing just grips and goes. And you know, electric cars, they make their power differently than a gas car. This is almost like having a giant slot car. I don't know if you've ever driven slot cars, but basically you just have a throttle, and the thing reacts instantly and it takes right off. For instance, not that I'm telling you to drag race people, but hypothetically, if I was drag racing, doing a rolling start with someone next to me, and like a Dodge Charger SRT8 or a Dodge Charger Scat Pack, similar horsepower, similar performance figures, but the thing is, okay, we're doing a rolling start, 1, 2, 3, go. We're gonna take off. I'm hitting my throttle right there, and this thing is just instantly taking off. It's instantly reacting to the throttle input, and I'm taking off very fast. Well, the person in the Charger Scat Pack right next to me, they're doing the same thing. They're hammering down at the throttle. Well, guess what? We're rolling along, so when he hits the throttle, the car needs to think for a second. Okay, he's hitting the throttle. What gear do I need to go in? So it's going to downshift into a gear, and then the engine's going to have to think for a second and rev up to that peak power band, and then he's going to take off. So maybe on paper the power figures might seem and performance figures might seem similar, but guess what? No hesitation, I'm taking off. Well, that car is hesitating and thinking about what it's doing, and that's the difference between going from a gas car to an EV. It's like going from a dumb car to a smart car, and that's just only a tip of the iceberg, is the instant throttle response. You don't feel any gear shifting. There's only one gear. You don't feel any vibrations. This thing is completely smooth. You can take one of the most luxurious ICE cars out there, like a 7 Series BMW or an S-Class Mercedes, which are, ultra luxury vehicles, but with engines, you're going to feel vibrations and gear shifting. This is going to be smoother, and then in some instances quieter than even those ultra luxury vehicles of gas engines, just because of just the way electric cars are. That's just the way they are. And so it's smoothness, instant power, and at the same time you have this fire breathing sports car. Well, it doesn't have a big thirsty V8. This takes electricity, and electricity is a lot cheaper than comparable gas. Then maintenance. When you have a expensive vehicle with a high performance V8 engine, you have more the car is going to have more stress on it, so you can have oil leaks, turbo leaks if the vehicle is a turbo or a supercharger. You have a complex emission control system, catalytic converters, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that can go. You can have premature oil leaks. All that power can put stress in the transmission can go. There's a lot more things to go wrong with a gas car, especially a high performance gas car, versus an EV like this. With regenerative braking, you're probably going to get well over 100,000 miles out of brakes. I've had hundreds of Teslas. I've never had to do brakes on one of them. That's never even come close because of the regenerative braking. You're not going to have big 30,000, 60,000, 90,000 mile services to perform on these things because there's not much to maintain. You are going from thousands of moving parts to something with dozens of moving parts. There's a lot less complexity. Big maintenance items in a car like this is changing tires, windshield wiper blades, washer fluid, things like that, rotating tires. You're not going to have big expensive services on something like this, even though it does give you, luxury car amenities and luxury car, well, not luxury car, but you know, sports car performance. Okay, so the majority of the functionality is on this screen. Tesla's always doing over-the-air updates. They are updating their vehicles at a rate that I haven't seen anyone else do. Recent updates, a blind spot camera, where Teslas have been out for years. Then they've decided, okay, we can, when you turn the signals on, we'll activate the cameras on the pillars here, and now you have a blind spot camera. They're offering updates constantly, so they're adding new features. Recently they've added more things like TikTok and Twitch, as well as, you know, you can have YouTube and Netflix and Hulu. They're constantly adding video games. They're constantly adding features of the toy box and stuff like that. And I could really just go for, I could really talk for an hour about all the amazing features on this car. There's just really so much to talk about. We have a backup camera, really high definition display. And that's the other thing I want to talk about, because this has cameras all around it. You have the Sentry mode, so you can pull up live camera views even when the car's parked somewhere on your phone with the Tesla app. And the Tesla app's another amazing aspect of this vehicle that I haven't really touched on either. It's just, you know, everywhere you talk about, there's just revolutionary stuff with these products. Someone's trying to break in the vehicle, you'll get an alert on your phone, hey, the alarm's going off. And then on top of that, with cameras all around it, you don't just have a 24-hour security system for your car. Well, you also have traffic cameras, so you can set it up so if you beep the horn, you can activate the traffic camera, or you can make it so it's constantly just recording an hour's worth of data constantly. So if something does happen, you can save that data. You're in an accident, you got pulled over, and you didn't think it was your fault. Well, you have cameras all around you constantly recording everything, and that's another feature, really, I haven't seen on any other vehicle. It's just quite amazing. And you know, the thing with a lot of vehicles, the buttons and knobs are tied to fixed buttons, analog buttons. This thing is completely digital. It's like your iPhone. So you know, when you have fixed buttons, you can't change them. They're there forever. Where most of the functionality is handled in the screen, well, this is infinitely configurable. It's, you know, you can constantly update it and improve it. It's just like, you know, you might have an iPhone that's 2 or 3 years old, but a new version of iOS comes up. Well, guess what? You can update it, and your 2 or 3 year old phone, you know, is getting new features. In fact, that's my Tesla right there. I'm not just a, you know, spokesperson, I'm also a client. Well, anyways, you know, mine's a 2019, but my user interface, a lot of the features that are in this 2022, I have in my car because of over-the-air updates, where, you know, you have other cars that, you know, are built, you know, this F-150 was built, and, you know, there's really not much you can change on it. It's going to be that way forever, where, you know, this is a smartphone on wheels, and like your smartphone that you have in your pocket, you can see that it's highly configurable. Lots of storage. Since normally you'd have a gas tank here, no gas tank here, this is more storage. Look at all this storage space. You can fold down the seats. There's a camp mode too, so if you want to camp in your vehicle, the camp mode will allow you to watch the infotainment system, put the heat on, while not using other systems on the vehicle while it's running that can drain the battery faster. You have a dog mode, so if you want to put your dog in here, it'll display on the screen, hey, the vehicle's at a comfortable 76 degrees, my owner will return soon. Okay, so also the Model Y performance, you get these Uberturbine wheels with high performance tires. You also have larger brakes. You have a lower ride height. I think it's about 1 inch lower than a regular Model Y. So not only do you get more power with the Model Y performance, you get better braking, better handling, and a little bit lower center of gravity with that lower ride height. Also, we have a frunk here. Normally you'd have an engine here, but since there's no engine, you have extra storage space, and this is a safety feature. You have a crumple zone that's 60% larger than a crumple zone on a gas car because there's no engine here. So you have all this space to absorb crash energy. The Model Y is one of the lowest rollover risks out of any SUV, one of the safest vehicles on the road. You have the Autopilot, which is traffic aware cruise control, which is included in this one, which allows you to brake and accelerate in your own lane. It's great for stop and go traffic, driving on the highways. Absolute godsend, and Tesla's constantly updating their Autopilot and making it better. And I use it all the time. If I'm on a road trip or if I'm driving anywhere in traffic or on the highway, I'm at the point where I need to take a Tesla of Autopilot. That's how spoiled I am by it. All right, and this is a very good selling vehicle. You know, if you watch some of my videos from a couple years ago, I was talking about the Model Y. I was saying that, you know, the Model Y has the potential for being one of the best selling cars in the world. Well, guess what? You know, Tesla, it's 2000, we're nearing the end of 2022, it's November of 2022. Tesla is approaching on 1 million EVs that they built this year in various factories all over the world. And over 700,000 of them are Model Y. So it looks like the Model Y is not only becoming the best-selling Tesla, but it's actually becoming one of the best-selling vehicles, period, in the world. Not electric vehicles, but best-selling vehicles in the world. So if people are telling you, oh, you know, I'm waiting for battery technology to get better, I'm waiting for Tesla's technology to get better, well, it's already there, it's already better, and honestly, it's better than probably almost everyone else on the road, and you know, maybe by 5 or 10 years, that matters. So we have always a great selection of Teslas here. I'm very familiar with them. I own one myself. Come in, take this one for a drive, or anything else that you're interested in. We have S's, X's, Y's, and 3's. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.